G'day from Australia again. How's it going, Crate and fellow Praetorians? Sun Steel with another small update. This time on a warder that I've built, trying to focus on elemental damage. So to show you what my idea is, just a couple of points in the Shaman, enough to open up Upheaval. Mainly because it's using weapon and elemental damage, as well as the bleed, obviously, which synergizes with that. But we've actually taken it for the lightning damage and the weapon and the elemental damage. So what I'm getting is a elemental focused cadence build using Discord. And then trying to get that worked into the equation as well via the proc chance on, well, it's got a 100% chance of being used when I score a critical hit. So my whole build is based around trying to get crits. I've managed to, just with this sort of average gear, I've managed to get an offensive ability of 16-14, which of course is a 100% hit, and with that one that's 47% chance to crit, which is fairly high there. But I'm only at the entrance to the Hallowed Hills, so that crit chance will drop dramatically when I start facing level 52, 54 enemies, or dudes like the Demapatines and that sort of shit. So I wanted to try and show you how it works. There it is going off on a crit. There it is again. So I'm interested in getting this to go off as often as possible to really make this build quite lively. And you can see I'm getting good damage out of it. Because it actually goes off on a crit, it means straight away you're going to deal more than its base damage anyway. But the first thing I'd like to point out about Upheaval is the fact that it's nullified by cadence. So every third hit when cadence goes off, even if it's a crit, cadence takes a precedent over Upheaval. So it cancels it out of the equation there, which made me think it'd be pretty cool if because this is all basically a passive skill line, it'd be pretty cool if Upheaval also procced on the use of these sort of well, obviously these are two-handed melee skills, but then you've got stuff like Blitz, which I've got a point in, mainly for its mobility, and Blade Arc, and Force Wave. It'd actually be cool if Upheaval would proc or go off when I critted with one of these as well. That'd make the skill feel a lot more useful than it does now. I realise that because of the numbers I'm getting, it might make some of these other skills feel a bit overpowered. But when you realise then also that it's based on crit chance, and to actually make a build that can monopolise on this going off on every crit except for the cadence hit, the level of gearing that you have to get in that instance is probably more than what the average player, well, it's substantially higher level than what the average player will ever see, because that sort of gear doesn't drop to start with, and secondly, the average player is not going to have the patience to diligently craft the sort of gear that's necessary to really see this skill become part of a or become build centric in conjunction with something like the elemental version of Cadence. So that's sort of what I was aiming for, was to get these two working together, Cadence and Upheaval. Obviously with the passive damage from brute force, the lightning damage, trying to focus now on building up the damage. So we're running at 4,500 DPS on the two-handed prismatic eviscerator, which at the moment is the best choice for an elemental build. Beats out Alvaric's Rebuke. Even with the plus to Shaman skills, it beats it out by about 400 DPS. So the thing I'd like to see with that is, like I said, that option for Upheaval to actually proc on all of the active skills. Maybe that has to be rebalanced a bit that way, I don't know, but it'd certainly it'd be like a precursor to the way devotions are going to work too. It's, you know, it'll add an extra AoE or an extra damage type to apparently unrelated skills, you know. So I don't know, it's food for thought. Like I said, I can understand if you guys haven't made it to be that way, because the fact it'll probably make some of these skills now overpowered. But then, like I said, the second consideration is that for most people, they're not going to see it proc. You know, they might get a 10 or a 15% proc chance, which is not going to make it all that prevalent, but it'll still make it interesting enough that people will spec into it. If it's going off on more than just your, if it's got a chance to go off on more than just your basic, you know, two-handed melee attack, which in this case is Cadence. I mean, it doesn't go off at all when I get a critical hit with Blitz. And to be honest, I haven't checked it yet with Blade Arc or Force Wave, but I was surmising, I suppose, that it doesn't work with either of these, but I could be wrong. But judging from the fact that it doesn't go off with Blitz, yeah, I didn't consider that it would work with these either, that it's pretty much only focused on your default attack, if I can say that. So let's just try that. If I put Blitz on my default attack and see if we can get a crit, we'll see if it actually works. So whether it's just a default attack or default melee attack. Alright, so no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work with Blitz on default attacks. It has to be like a default melee attack for Upheaval to actually go off there. The other comment on that whole brute force and Upheaval skill line, I found it quite interesting that you've offered an either-or sort of choice here. You know, if I'm building a proc-focused warder using, I would probably not put any points into this, and I'd definitely stack all my points into here, and then take obviously Markovians and Zolhans, and then maybe some points into Cadence as well, just to round the build out. That'd work really well. But then you've also given the option, so you could actually focus on these and build a sort of bleed damage proc base sort of build, which would be pretty efficient and pretty deadly. And then you've also given the other choice here, so if I want to sort of min-max things, I can take that and ignore that completely, or I can go the other way. If I want to build a elemental focused sort of water using the elemental damage focus on cadence, taking discord, I can put all my points into here and not feel like I'm losing out by not getting any points in there either. So this is quite well designed, this little skill line here. There's obviously some thought going into that, as with all of the stuff that you guys are putting out. And it presents a bit of a choice, or if you just, I mean, a lot of players I think will just go, you know, points in here, a couple of points in there, a couple of points in there, and you'll just get sort of a bit of a boost every now and then sort of thing to your build, which might satisfy a lot of people. But then if you're actually looking for a very specific build path, it does provide those two very distinct options, which are hinted at obviously in the first, in the actual base skill itself, brute force, where it's divided into physical damage bonus and an elemental damage bonus. I thought that was pretty cool. I've yet to look at any of these. I'm glad there's other playtesters that are really delving into these, and it's great to see everyone getting involved and giving feedback and what have you. So just that thought, because this is based on crit chance, would it be possible to make it more attractive by allowing it to also go off when these sort of skills crit, not just your basic weapon attack? I think that's all that I had for this one at the moment. Yeah, and obviously the fact that that cadence nullifies it, which I can understand too, I suppose, because if you were getting both of them going off at the same time, you can see on this build you'd be getting like 10 or 12,000 damage quite easily without sort of having to try for it. Alright, I'll leave it there and try and keep those videos a bit shorter. Enjoy the play testing. Great build, Crate. Once again, well done.